all know that Joe Biden gets a little combative with voters who ask him mildly challenging questions. And the recent example is no exception. He was in Michigan at a campaign event talking to construction workers, unionized construction workers. And at one point, a gentleman approaches him to ask about the Second Amendment and Biden's proposals for gun control. Take a look at how it went down.
About how you intend on getting the union vote when there's a large portion of the union workers that are gun enthusiasts, and you are actively trying to diminish our Second Amendment right and take away our guns.
You're full.
All right, thank you.
No, shush. Shush. I support the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, just like right now, if you yell fire, that's not free speech. And from the very beginning, I have a shotgun, I have a 20 gauge, a 12 gauge, my son's hunt. Guess what? You're not allowed to own any weapon. I'm not taking your gun away at all. You need 100 rounds.
So when you were with Beto, when you said you're going to take our guns,
I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that.
It's a viral video.
Well, it's a viral video like the other ones they're putting out that are simply a lie.
Your voice, you said that you're taking the guns.
Well, he just clarified it.
Wait. Take your AR-14s and what?
Okay, this is not okay.
Hold on. All right. Hey, let's
Don't tell me to do that.
There's a lot of guys. A lot of guys wanted.
I'm not worried. Hold on.
So much.
Give me a break, man. Don't be such a
You're
horse
pushing up on me.
Hey, there's a lot of.
Hey.
Speak to Joe.
Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Are you able to own a machine gun? I said, are you able to own one? I'm the law.
Machine guns are illegal.
That's right. So AR-15's illegal.
How is that in a machine gun?
No, it's not.
Semi-automatic.
Yeah, do you need 100 rounds? Do you need 100 rounds?
So I want to make sure that you're fully aware of what was said in that video, because of course you can tell that it's combative, but it is a little hard to hear everything. So one thing that stood out right in the beginning, and we had to censor it for obvious reasons, he tells this worker, "You're full of ish." Okay, so that was line number one. I want to ask all of the New York Times reporters who are tweeting in defense of Joe Biden right now, would you have the same defense if it were Bernie Sanders in the exact same video, in the exact same interaction? I would argue no, because he doesn't have those types of interactions, and he's constantly being described as angry, as grumpy, as irritable, combative. Whereas Joe Biden has multiple videos that look exactly like this, and it's totally okay. Oh, the voters love this. Yeah, I'm sure. He also tells his campaign worker, I mean, she's off camera, she's a woman, shush when she tries to calm the situation down.
Oh my God, imagine if Bernie Sanders had done that. So look, guys, it's now at a point where no sane person can dispute the overwhelming bias of the mainstream media. So if Bernie Sanders had told a Michigan worker that he was full of crap, number one, civility. See? He encourages this lack of civility by saying these outrageous things, and he's so rude. Number two, they get into, he's grumpy. That's why people don't like him. No one likes him, just like Hillary Clinton said, no one likes him. Okay, number three, oh my God, he's gonna lose Michigan. Look at what he's saying to Michigan workers in hard hats, disrespecting the workers of Michigan. We're never gonna win Michigan, we're never gonna win the Midwest. He's not electable. Biden does it, it's 180, complete opposite.
Yeah.
Attaboy, that way to take the fight to them. He's a real guy people can relate to.
I'm gonna show you examples of what New York Times reporters are tweeting today, the objective ones. But there are portions of the interaction that you didn't see on tape, so I wanna share it with you. At one point, Joe Biden tells the worker, "Don't tell me that, pal, or I'm going to go outside with your ass."
Wow! No. Imagine if Bernie Sanders had said that,
worse, though.
or anyone related to Bernie Sanders had said that.
Are you threatening to beat him up? Like, what does that? And it looked like they were outside, but anyway, it's beside the point. It gets worse, though.
By the way, it's also funny. I'm gonna go outside with your ass is not a great line to use if you're in a combative situation.
At that point, the construction worker responds to him and says, "You're working for me, man."
That's a great point. I don't agree with him on the Second Amendment issues. I'm actually gonna back up Joe Biden on that in a second. But a voter has every right to ask you questions. I got asked crazy tough questions,
right?
And I never threatened to beat anyone up.
Right.
That's insane.
So here's what Joe Biden's response was to an American citizen, a US voter who said, "You're working for me, man." Joe Biden responds and says, "I'm not working for you. Don't be such a horse's ass." That was the most honest moment for Joe Biden.
Yes.
That was a very honest moment. And
That's
we shouldn't just gloss over it, because that's what he genuinely thinks. He doesn't think he's working for you. He doesn't think he's working for American citizens, US voters, no one here who has actual skin in this game, in this election, is someone that Biden thinks that he's working for or representing.
Yeah, I do want to get to the policy, but we also have to note, he said AR-14. There is no AR-14, it's an AR-15. And so we got to talk about the mental decline in a second. But now all of these things, I've got to hear, I did not see the New York Times tweets. But I know the media, I know them like the back of my hand. I knew they'd all defend Biden, but just in any of these situations, imagine if it were Bernie telling him that he's gonna go assault a worker in Michigan and then he's gonna take his ass outside and he doesn't care about him, he doesn't work for him. The New York Times would have savaged Bernie Sanders. Now, what do they say in this case?
So here is one New York Times reporter. Republican vet sends this over and asks, this is Jonathan Martin from the New York Times, why on earth is the Trump campaign sending this out? Do they think this makes Biden look bad? People are going to love this. Oh, Jonathan Martin, a Republican veteran came up to you and told you this. Then you should definitely regurgitate this exact point, that this is something that people are gonna love, and that's exactly what he did. He, in the thread, also tweeted, rule of thumb for most earthy Biden encounters, assumptions about them hurting him with voters are usually wrong.
That's because you guys immediately cover his ass.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, tough guy, way to be, Joe Biden. Hey, Republicans told me he's great. Republicans told me he's great. Some Bernie Sanders supporter said that there might be an issue with Joe Biden's mental decline. They agree with Republicans, these bastards. No hint of recognition of the hypocrisy. When Republicans tell you Joe Biden's great, you print it like it's gold. When progressives ever agree with Republicans, they're like, how could you, you traitors, right?
There's one more tweet in this thread. Though this is a thanks you guys for the books, meaning that this viral video is awesome and it's gonna totally help Biden because it makes him look like a tough guy. But fact of the matter is, it actually does not make him look like a tough guy. It makes him look like he's incredibly defensive, even though he's right on the issue. So when it comes to the actual policy, we absolutely do need gun control, right? Common sense gun control. And he's also right in stating that he never once said that he's looking to take people's guns away from them, but he is trying to make a point about certain types of weaponry that people shouldn't own, right? But here's the thing, you can make that argument without threatening to beat people up.
Yeah, so,
come on.
So let's split those into two different things. Some people are getting on him for saying that AR-14s, but let's put aside the AR-14, AR-15s are like machine guns. He actually did not say that. He said you shouldn't have a machine gun, right? And the worker agreed. Okay, yes, that's right, machine guns are illegal. He was making a point that like machine guns are illegal, there are some bounds of reason, and AR-15s could also be illegal for a similar reason. Hey, do you need 100 rounds in a weapon to be able to go hunting? You don't. So that was actually a perfectly good point. That he didn't say anything wrong there, except the slip about AR-14. On the other hand, when you're talking about the elephant in the room, which is the mental decline, one thing that people don't often talk about is, and if you've had any family or family friends that have gone through this, it's not just that they begin to lose memory and they begin to lose different things like that. They also get irritable. And so, yes, I fully acknowledge I'm not a doctor, okay, obviously. But Joe Biden refuses to do cognitive tests. This is before this controversy came about. He released other medical records, but would not do a cognitive test. So that's a glaring omission in his medical records. Of course, the mainstream media, which asked about Bernie's medical records related to his heart, which he put out enormous details on, were like, not enough, not enough. And they did hours and hours and hours of coverage of that, giving Joe Biden millions of dollars in free media. None of them are asking about why is there no cognitive test.
No.
And he keeps getting irritable in weird situations, telling people that he's gonna take their ass outside.
No, Cenk, but look, according to the New York Times, people love that Joe Biden refuses to take the cognitive test. It's actually helping him with voters. So the New York Times thinks. No, they didn't actually say that, but it's not far-fetched given the insane double standard that they apply to Biden versus Bernie.
You guys, look, everybody knows it. If you're the most establishment person in the planet, you know right now if Bernie had said shush to a female staffer, had called it an AR-14,
right,
threatened to assault a Michigan worker and yelled at him and cursed at him, Jonathan Martin would not have sent those tweets. Everyone else and cable news right now would be talking about how he's unacceptable, unelectable, a monster,
disqualified.
Rude, disqualified. We all know it. The only people who refuse to acknowledge it are the people doing propaganda for a living. Every single person on television.
And one final thing I want to mention about Joe Biden and his entire branding throughout this election. He keeps arguing that he's not only the most electable, which I'm not buying, obviously, for reasons that we've discussed on this show over and over again, but more importantly, he's the one who can bring people together. Is that how he brings people together? By threatening them if they ask a question that he finds mildly challenging?
I'll tell you this, Joe Biden's not gonna be president. And so if it's him versus Trump, I'll do everything I can to make sure Trump is not president. But he's not gonna make it, he's not gonna make it. It's the most obvious thing in the world. And they're leading us right into an ambush if he's the candidate in the general election. I hope people realize it in time. We got Michigan tonight, we'll see how it goes. And by the way, if you care about people who actually cover the news fairly, tyt.com/go to support Young Turks, because we're certainly among the very few that are fighting against that machine, that wall of propaganda on television that skews every single thing in favor of establishment candidates like Joe Biden and everything against progressives like Bernie Sanders. So,
can you imagine if Bernie shushed a woman? I mean, Bernie was accused with no evidence of telling Warren that a woman can't win as president. Right? No evidence whatsoever, even though he was the one encouraging her to run in 2015. And then on the other hand, you have Biden on tape telling a woman to shush when she tried to de-escalate a situation. But no, that's gonna help Biden with voters. It's not a problem. Anyway,
they're the most biased people in America.
It's incredible.
And it's so blatant that it's obviously now at this point not a slip up. Oh, oops, did we say the things that would help Biden in every single circumstance and interpret the same exact things as terrible when Bernie does it? Oops, and Bernie never threatened to kick anyone's ass, let alone a voter, let alone a Michigan voter. He never shushed anyone.
A woman especially.
He never confused an AR-15 for an AR-14 or a Super Tuesday for Super Thursday, or his wife for his sister, or Vermont for New Hampshire. If he'd done any of those things, you know what they would have said on cable news.
Yeah.
He's too old, he's too old, he's too old. Bernie's gotta go. When Biden does it, oh, lovable Joe, you're not allowed to talk about it until the general election.
Yeah, well, Bernie did commit the top sin in corporate America, and that was to threaten power and wealth. And that is, again, the biggest sin of all, which is why they attack him so aggressively. Finally, I leave you with a wonderful Biden campaign ad that responds to all of the criticism from lefty shows like this one. Here's the campaign ad. It makes a very compelling case.
Bernie Sanders wants you to think that he's the least selfish candidate in the race. All the way down to his slogan, not me, us. But really, Bernie, time and time again, Joe Biden has made it clear that he's all about other people, especially when it comes to suggesting who to vote for.
We gotta stop building and replacing pipelines. You gotta go vote for somebody else.
You should vote for Trump. You should vote for Trump. You got the right candidate in Bernie.
Then you should vote for somebody else.
Biden 2020. Not me, someone else.
It's compelling.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.